Hello, I'm Dr. Katherine Horton, and this is the third segment of the question time, where I'm answering the questions placed by people who are commenting on the interview I had with Richie Allen last night. I'm looking at the Richie Allen Show YouTube channel, and my interview you can find there under the name Horton. And I'm now up to the comment by Andrew T, who says, directed lightning bolts against her sister's mom? I believe in a lot of history that the mainstream says is conspiracy theory, and think the pedo networks need to be investigated and rooted out. I agree. But this lady is a disinformation agent or a nut. Either way, poisoning the well. Well, I'm not sure how I'm poisoning the well. I mean, how small must your well be when I can poison it? But then again, you know, I mean, with all the stuff that's out on the internet, I mean, really, I don't think I can poison anything, even if I tried, but I'm not actually trying to. I'm not an agent, and I don't think I'm, spreading disinformation. So I'm not a disinformation agent, and not. I don't think so. But anyway, your issue was directed lightning bolts against her sister's mom. And somewhere else, I have to find a comment, someone also said, oh yeah, but when Richie actually repeats the same thing, she isn't sure anymore. She changes her story. Let me explain. First of all, directed lightning bolts against her sister's mom. And this wasn't my sister's mom, my dear Andrew T, because it was my best friend's mom. Maybe I misspoke in Richie Allen's show, but my sister's mom is my mom, and it was not my mom. It's my best friend's mom who they did this to, who, by the way, also had really strange heart problems identical to mine, which I had, which in my case spontaneously disappeared when I went to the doctor and the blood sample was stolen. In her case, I think it's also disappeared, and she didn't have any problems like that, and now, other things happened and so on. So, the directed lightning bolts, Google Applied Energetics, that's the company name, Applied Energetics, and the product I'm referring to is their laser guided energy. I think it's in the quote bundle, and I'll look it up, but it's called Applied Energetics, the company, and they were founded, I think, in 2002, or newly founded to actually make money off a new patent from 2002, which is essentially this laser guided energy. And what they mean by that, the technology, the idea behind this is very simple to understand. You can essentially take a laser, shoot it into the air, and the laser is so powerful or of the frequency that it ionizes the air along the beam line. And then you've got a little ionized channel. From school you remember these electrical discharges like to travel along places where you've got free electrons, and free ions, because they can jump along there. So you will have this ionization channel, and then when you cause an electromagnetic pulse, you will discharge it along that line, but not either way, because you already have these free ions, so they can travel along there much quicker, than fork off anywhere along the beam line. But because it's a discharge, this thing will be really fast. It will be just a pulse, So to someone standing next to it, it will look like lightning, but it's actually just an electrical discharge traveling along this line. And I claim that this was weapons testing, because she was hit by lightning. She had a friend with her, so there is a witness. This is it. She has a witness that this happened. And but it was a clear day. That's number one. She was between tall buildings which have lightning conductors. So for already on a clear day, for lightning to strike ground level is highly unusual. But then the other unusual thing was that the lightning didn't strike her, but it struck a stone that was lower than her, next to her. Now, because you're organic matter, you are much more conducting than a stone. So lightning should hit your top of the head, and maybe then fork off into the stone, but the lightning didn't actually hit her. So I think they were testing how close they can get to an older lady. She's in her 70s, and they must have thought, oh, if she dies, people think she had a heart attack and she's just, above 70, so what the hell. And she had these heart issues anyway, which I believe they induced. So if she dies, we'll just say, oh, she had heart issues, and then she had a heart attack. And meanwhile, they're testing these freaking weapons, and they want to see how close they can get with this beamline to a person. They don't want to try it on themselves, of course, so they just pick somebody. And who do they pick? Foreigners. Because I'm a foreigner in Germany, even though I'm a German citizen. my friends are German citizens, but they're originally from other parts of the world, so we're still foreigners. So guess what? I think a bunch of Nazis in the intelligence agencies might be testing it on us. Do you see? I'm not making this shit up. You can Google applied energetics and then think about it yourself. So, what else did I want to say? There was something in my mind that, but it is just gone. Anyway, that's it. That's it about that comment. Yeah. Yes, okay, here we are. Oh, I think I didn't. Yes, sorry, I got confused because this comment was interspersed. Yes, so now I replied to that. There's a curious comment by Andy53. 007 was one of the clues held up by a CERN employee connected to this Mandela effect, ? Just saying. I had to look up what the Mandela effect is, and as I understand it, the Mandela effect is when a group of people has a certain collective memory about something that disagrees with the collective memory of another group of people. And then this is used, or by some people it's used to say, oh, maybe there are parallel universes and they are right in their parallel universe and these people are right in their parallel universe, and we just keep flicking back and forth between parallel universes. Okay, well, as a scientist, I don't know who this CERN employee was and what their reference to 007 was. So let me answer first that reference and why I've chosen 007, and then let me talk about the parallel universes. So, number one, I've picked 007 in a haste because I wanted to refer to the intelligence agencies and problems with them. And when you say 007, it means something to everybody around the world because the films are just so popular. So you can try this, talk to somebody anywhere in the world, in Thailand, and say, James Bond, and they will know what you mean. They might say, oh, 007, So that's why. So I wanted something short and catchy. But I realize, now that I actually think about it, that by picking 007, I seem to be picking, people might associate that with British intelligence in particular. And I want to make it clear that my problem is not just British intelligence, and I should write that clearly on my website. I was shot at in Germany by German intelligence, in Switzerland by Swiss intelligence, in Spain, in Italy, and the Netherlands by now, and in the UK as well. And in all places, absolutely brutally. Do you understand? So I'm basically not singling out, I'm sure these guys are not sitting there crying, but for all people who feel patriotic about Britain, I'm not singling out British intelligence as particularly bad. No, I'm saying exactly what Christopher Story was saying. They are horizontally and vertically integrated. They are one corporation. They are one big entity now, with just local branches. I think that's the truth. None of the governments ever had any accountability, and they most certainly don't have now. And this is what we have to change. We have to bring it back under national control, I think. They have to be nationally accountable about what they do. So, by picking 007, I do not particularly want to pick on just the British. But my issue is with the British because they put me on the list. And I was also attacked in Britain, And I'm 100% sure. MI6 is one of the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world. So, if you go abroad, they will also have their hand in it. So that's why I pick on them. But I'm not saying that German intelligence is any better. By the way, when I went to the Richie Allen Show's page today, I saw an interesting interview, which I haven't finished listening to yet, but sounds very interesting actually, by Michael Shriptom. Or an interview with Michael Shriptom about German intelligence using child abuse to blackmail UK politicians to prevent Brexit. Now, I think that's a disaster, okay? Because, blackmail is a disaster in itself. The only thing I might say is, as a systems analyst, I would guess that this child abuse system, everything I've seen, I heard people complain about satanic child abuse in Italy, in the US, in Sweden, everywhere. I would say the child abuse system is a global control system. People were, induced to do this, and then basically had a control file on them anywhere in the world. And if German intelligence is trying to blackmail UK politicians, they should get in touch with, UK intelligence, and then they can blackmail German politicians in return, because I would guess they are all in with the child abuse. And that maybe would be a good thing, because my allegiance is not to any of these intelligence agencies. My allegiance is with the victims of child abuse. And if these bastards are brought to justice, just the better. And what I can say to those people worried about having their politicians blackmailed, that is horrific, okay? That should never be used. Blackmail should never be used for any political reasons, especially not now when there's such a big, important decision to be made. So that has to stop. But also, the second sentence I would like to say is, in the UK, you're 65 million people. If that happens, can you not find somebody who's in favor of Brexit, if you really want to, and then just replace them with the sex abuser? Like, literally, take the blackmail, which is bad, from German intelligence, blackmail them back so that you Germans are forced to get rid of their child molesters and child rapists too, and then free up in both countries the system from these fuckers and replace them. Sorry about the language, I do get so emotional, so I'm sorry, that was not, but it is warranted in this case. And replace them with like actual genuine politicians who haven't raped any children. I mean, how about that? Instead of people whose top qualification for the job is the fact that they put their member in children, how about getting people actually good at their job? Right? I mean, 65 million people, replace them. Find out who the ones were. If German intelligence provides you with this information, go brilliant. And by the way, Hans, how about that guy up there? You know, now it's your job. That guy has to go. If our guy goes, that guy goes. And I would be like, brilliant, people. Because what you just did is you cycled the system away from bullshit and crime. Do it to each other. Like, literally have like a child sex molesting exposition war between the intelligence agencies. I would love that. I would be literally just there, you know, with popcorn, just eating it and watching you guys, you know, have a go at each other. And meanwhile, every nation state, don't panic when a child molesting politician in favor of Brexit gets taken down. Replace him, for God's sake, with another Brexit loving politician who's not a child molester, and everybody's better off. You get to keep your political message, to fight for what you believe in, okay? And at the same time, removed 2 child molesting politicians, 1 German, 1 British. Brilliant. You know, how about that? But I agree with Michael Shriptom. If they're doing that, you know, it's bad, and then do it back. That's all I can say. Sorry, I have to find the tweets again. Okay, the Mandela effect, parallel universe as well. Addy 53. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. I don't actually think that the Mandela effect, as I understood it, is enough to prove parallel universes. I think for that you need some more heavy-duty science, because there are other effects that can explain the Mandela effect. Number one, it's simply memes, you know, they spread. So if someone seeds it by disinformation or by just a genuine mistake, people might just quote it at dinner parties, and then they remember having heard it, and they write it on blogs, and then on it goes. And then before you know it, there's like the system spreads like sideways and around you without you noticing. And at some point, there's this entire group of people that, you know, find each other who all think the same thing. Or you find them online and you think, oh, they're all one group, but actually they're unrelated. And this effect happens. So that's a meme spreading through the system, and then different memes spread, and different little mistakes get sometimes amplified, and you end up with large groups of people staunchly believing something that might be wrong. Number one, and there's a second effect you should take into account, which is that I think, and I've got reasons to believe, that the intelligence agencies, I mean, the fact that they've been writing propaganda is clear from declassified CIA documents, where they have had their propaganda unit, their PSYOP, their psychological operation unit, put out material. Okay, so this is not a surprise. And one of the things that may be not said is that they will also have to train people up. So at some point, there must be a stage where little PSYOP students or trainee spies learn how to do PSYOP. And how would they learn that? They will try to put out false information and sell it as true. Right? That's what you would expect from a system that it has to have recruits. How do you train recruits? How do you teach them what good propaganda and bad propaganda is? By forcing them to make little, like, and as their homework, go on Twitter and try to put out bullshit. And these people will actually do that. Now that's poisoning the well, guys. You know, having an actual system that's fairly large, like have these little minions just like put out bullshit as their homework. I mean, that's deadly. And you know, heaven forbid if these people have to write a master's thesis about putting out bullshit. I mean, that would be like death. You know, so it's keep those effects in mind, and that's why I don't think that's enough to actually prove physical effects like parallel universes. But they could exist, but I just don't know anything about parallel universes, so I won't go there. In Targeted Individual Island said, this is happening to me since childhood: gang stalking, covert harassment, directed energy weapons, attacks, setups, intimidation, MK Ultra programming. All intelligence agencies are involved, recruiting everybody they can to participate. 24 hours a day, tortured and manipulated. Thousands of people have harassed me throughout my life. This is happening all throughout Ireland. I have my testimony on my channel. Thanks to you both for your courage. Well, Targeted Individual Ireland, I would like to say please stay in touch. I will try to find your channel. Actually, I should just click on it. Yes, I'll go through your channel today. I will make a note. And because what shocks me is that you say you had this since childhood. So you've been living a life of hell, essentially. This is not what our planet's meant to be. And don't despair. Do not resign. Okay? Targeted Individual Island. Do not let them get you to the stage where you say, oh, that's just what the world's like and I've given up on it. No, you've just seen the battle lines. Okay? That's where we will start working. And we'll get this out, and we will, because now, if you had this throughout your childhood and your entire life, by now you're worn down. Because you've been put through at Zersetzungsprogramm. Zersetzung is the German word for disintegration, and the Stasi developed the Zersetzungsmethod, so the disintegration method, the utter destruction of a personality of a human being through non-stop harassment. Okay? And basically, what we're now up against is that, you know, other intelligence agencies have taken on exactly the same nonsense, and they're doing the same stuff. So this is what we're up against. And do not despair, because now with the internet, I would have never heard about you 5 years ago, because it wasn't actually connected enough. The internet was there, but wasn't even, you know, we didn't have social media that prominently and all the stuff. And now it's just getting more and more. And things like people saying to me, why don't you talk to this radio host and that radio host, and this person is independent, talk to them. And you get these messages, we'll get networked a lot quicker, we'll get information to each other much quicker. And what this is a ginormous ratchet. You know, we accumulate information and wisdom and knowledge, and once it's in your head, they cannot erase it. They can try all the MK Ultra programming and, you know, laser lobotomy, but they cannot erase it from mankind. We are too many, and we keep it's like clawing our way there, you know. And once we've climbed an inch, we cannot fall anymore, because there are thousands of people climbing up behind us, and they keep pushing you up, you know, all of us. So get your information out there, explain exactly what you've observed, what you felt, how they did it. Try to figure out how they do it, because a lot of tricks are involved. They are essentially professional saboteurs, snitchers, liars and cheats, okay? They are professional fakes. That's what they are. So you will have come across a lot of fakery, and a lot of the things are really bad. A lot of the things are really bad, and maybe even worse than we see. But there are also lots and lots of other things which are not as bad as we think, you know, we are led to believe they are. So, and we have to tell which is which, you know. But we will tidy this up. All of it. We'll tidy it up, and it doesn't matter how many of us they kill or torture to death or damage our organs. We will keep going, because this is a super ratchet. And now with the internet, you just have to keep talking to people, and if they ever get you down, spread your information. You have to break through their ranks. What they did throughout your childhood is, you know, you were under siege. You lived your life under siege. So just imagine what you will be able to do when you break out, and when we've taken down the siege from your walls. Because that's what we're going to do. We get these fuckers. I promise you. You know, you have to break out. So keep tweeting. Keep phoning people. Talk to them. Show them, you know, what my videos, show them the videos of all the other people, you know, who have already spoken out and say, this is happening, I'm affected. Because as a victim, you've got the right to talk. You know, people will not question you when you approach them. Use that right. You know, say your aunt who, you know, might want to help you, she can't go to someone and say, oh yeah, but my cousin or my nephew, you know, does this, because then it's not the direct link. But you have got all the right in the world to be angry, to be out there, talk to politicians, doctors, and every time they do something to you that really upsets you, do 3 things. 3 things. Talk to 3 people. Either send 3 tweets directly at somebody you haven't thought about yet. You know, send it to comedians, send it to politicians, to anyone who's got a Twitter handle. Just say, by the way, did you know, here's my channel. This shit's real. And every time they bother you, have an amplification factor of at least 3. If they really bother you, 5 people, then 10 people. You know, call people up, talk to people in like councils and, you know, talk to your MP or other MPs, you know, go to any MP's surgery, keep talking to people and keep, you know, information and try to get help. Any little bit that you can, get forward. And also maybe an idea with a lot of the, like if they do fancy stuff, you know, I'm trying to figure out how you can measure it, and then you can get in touch with actual experts, you know, who can help us, because I don't know which frequencies they're using, because even as a physicist, I don't know, it's classified technology. I'm still just getting there, you know, and help me with that. Really help me with that, and see anything like a measuring device that's independent, you know, stuff that you can take with your digital camera, independent of you, buy a dictaphone, okay? Have it in your, like, if you buy a dictaphone and it's just audio, you can like record 16,000 hours of audio on the same device, you know, and then just turn it on in the morning, let it run the entire day, have it in your pocket, in your jacket pocket, in your bag, record everything, because then you can go back. If people harass you by talking to you, then you have the audio, and just let it run. You know, just let it run, because it also gives you peace of mind, because every time they then say stuff to you like, this goes on your file, this gonna go in my court case, keep talking at me, and suddenly you'll have this inner zen, because deep down you'll think, you know, and that will help. So why not buy a dictaphone and record everything? Recording video is harder, because you'll be generating gigabytes and gigabytes, but it doesn't matter. You know, you can, maybe if you can afford like a secret spy camera, just, you know, one that maybe you can trigger and then record stuff, just do. And okay, it's like we don't have the money, but I think you can buy it also cheap off the internet. So all of you victims, do that, you know, just anything that you get, and keep getting at it. Like, make photographs of these people, and don't think, oh, you don't know who they are. Doesn't matter. It will go into your file, and in a couple of years, like Facebook already has like face recognition. If you post it on your site, if these people are not careful and remove those identities from the Facebook face recognition, it will automatically tell you who it is. And guess what? This sort of face recognition will be everywhere soon. You can find 5 years, if you can't find out who they are now, you'll find out in 5 years' time, you know. And having all these little gang stalkers undergo like facial reconstruction surgery every 2 years is also not, you know, practicable. So we will get them. Make photographs, and you have all the time in the world to find out who was doing it to you. And once you've got it recorded, and make backup copies, have it in bank safes and on, you know, clouds. If they manipulate your computer, have it in a cloud, have it in an encrypted cloud. Find an encrypted cloud service. Burn it on CD. Give CDs to friends for them to put in their safe. Make it really hard. Just spread this information, you know? And we will get there, because if they've been doing it since your childhood, I'm already feeling like learned helplessness and paralysis. But you probably didn't really have like the opportunity to do all the things that you wanted to do in your life. But doesn't matter, because the more pressure you put on you, the more you turn into a diamond. Do you understand? You will be rock hard, and by the time we take all this crap away from around you, you'll be a diamond, and diamond cuts through everything. Do you understand? And the same is true of people. So it doesn't matter, anybody, all of you who've been abused as children, who are abused now by husbands, or suffer domestic violence or whatever, get out of the situation, and don't think, oh my god, these years of my life were wasted and all. No, they shaped your personality. But fight to get out there, and then you will be a diamond, and you will be cutting through everything else life throws you like a diamond, because everything else will be so much easier. Do you understand? It's and once it's only when you compare yourself to others who are already cracking under a lot less than you do you realize who you have become. What a powerful person you've become through this experience. But anyway, we have to, nevertheless, no one should be left in this sort of situation. So we will help you. I am working flat out to help you. You know, I will read what you've written. So, enough for now.